Hey guys, my name is Michael and I'm a prevention specialist for the Alcohol and Drug Abuse Council for the Concho Valley. And today we're coming back with another prevention video, and I'm going to be going over how to prep and season a cast iron skillet to get ready to cook on. This one's mine. I've had it for a couple of years and I just used it not too long ago, like a couple hours ago actually. And so yeah, I mean, I love cooking on it. It has really good texture. My food seems to taste a lot better, and it also helps out if you have iron deficiency or if you feel like you need more iron in your body, which iron is what helps red blood cells carry oxygen throughout the body. So it's always good to have that. But yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so to get started, as you can see, my cast iron still has some residue left in it from cooking in it earlier today. So what you're going to want to do is just turn this stove on to get some heat going to it. Alright, so while your skillet's warming up, getting nice and hot, what you're going to want to do is come over here and get your water going hot as well. You want it to the point where it's almost, if not already at the point of burning your fingers. So yeah, so give it some time to get hot, keep the water up, heat your cast iron skillet up, and then we'll go from there. Be sure, I always like to use the wooden utensils. You can use rubber. To me, I've had some bad experiences. The rubber can melt on there if you don't do it fast enough or you don't take care of it quite well. You could use a sponge like this, but you run a higher risk of burning your hand. So I usually just stick to the wooden spatula. It works best for me. That looks nice and hot. I see a little bit of smoke coming off of it. So let's go ahead and do this one more time. Make sure you get your handle covered up. Be careful with it again. Remember not to hover over this because a bunch of steam's going to come up. So kind of lean back a little bit, but also keep focused on what you're doing. Keep a good grip on the spatula. Just trying to get the rest of it off. Yeah, so after that, you can either pat it dry. If you still have your stove on, I like to just let it kind of air dry. You're supposed to let it dry while it's heated up anyway. Prevents rust, prevents stuff like this, because you got to remember that a cast iron isn't just like your regular pan. It's not covered with all these different chemicals and Teflon and stuff. It has pores in it, so you know, just like skin, it gets dried out and it needs to get reseasoned again. And you know, just like, you know, pores get clogged and stuff like that, doesn't get cleaned out well, it could potentially damage your cast iron skillet. So you know, I always like to put it back on the burner, let it dry out from the heat, and then go from there before I start to reseason it. All right, so yeah, guys. So next, you know, the cast iron, there's still some heat on there. What you're going to want to do is to get a good heat on it. If you're going to try to reseason it, simply because you can't season it if it's cold or if it's just dry, or if it's just not heated. If it's not heated or if it's cold, you can't really season it. You're just going to put the oil on there and it's going to slide right off. So yeah, like I said, every time you use a cast iron skillet, season it right after. You know, it's the best way to keep it preserved. So what you're going to want to do is get it nice and hot. A lot of folks like to use their hands just to touch it. I kind of touch the handle, see if the handle's, you know, warm, or, you know, if you can't hold it for longer than 3 seconds, it's probably ready to go. So what you're going to want to do is cut the heat down on it. Get yourself a rag to protect your hands. And then from here, you can use different types of oil, regular vegetable oil. I've seen people use flaxseed oil, stuff like that. Avocado oil has gotten popular lately. But I just like to use basic, simple olive oil. So you're going to want to put a little olive oil on there. Not too much, just a good amount, probably like a quarter. That may even be too much. And get yourself a rag. You know, don't use anything you plan to use again somewhere else. And just kind of season it around. So you're going to want to use this. Be sure not to burn yourself. This is a very hot cast iron, so you're going to want to kind of spread it around, get all the deep deposits in the sides. Not to be shy with it. Try to keep one side of the rag on the cast iron. So, you know, once you got the inside of the pan taken care of, what you're going to want to season next, a little different from other pans, is you're going to want to season the back of it too. The side that actually goes on the burner. You may need a little bit more olive oil. Like I said, not too much. And just treat it the same way you would on the inside of the pan. Just get it good on the outside. Still being careful, this thing's still hot. get the handle as well. A lot of folks forget the handle. You want a good layer of oil around the whole cast iron, just to make sure it's nice, glossy finish. Put it back on the burner and let it chill there for a bit. So yeah, so that's basically one round of seasoning. If you look into it again, you can kind of see, you know, it should be a smooth, glossy finish. That looks pretty good. If you see any spots on there that could use it a second time, I'm about to do it again. It's the same procedure. You're going to want to get it hot, put some oil on there, spread it around with your rag. Be sure not to burn yourself. Do the whole thing. Don't just do one side. Do the whole thing, the inside the pan, outside of the pan, and the handle. And just do it well enough so that it has a nice gloss to it. There's no such thing as over seasoning these things, guys. Alright guys, so now you know how to clean, prep, and season a cast iron skillet. If you're thinking about using one, I definitely encourage you to do so. If you're going to go shop for one online or in the store, be aware that some of them may have this label that says already seasoned or ready to use. I'll disregard that label and just season it yourself. You're going to have to do it afterwards anyway, and that's simply because you don't know how long it's been sitting in the box and you don't know how long it's been on the shelf, so might as well just do it yourself. Kids, also be aware that there's a risk of burning yourself, so be sure to ask a parent for help. And if you need more tips, tricks, anything like that, like I said, this is a craft, so there's a lot of different techniques and methods. I'm still learning how to use my cast iron skillet myself, and it's just so versatile. So, you know, you can use it on the stovetop, you can use it over an open flame, you can use it in the oven. But definitely be careful if you plan on using it over an open flame or anything like that, because there is a risk of burning yourself. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next ADAC video. Thank you.